This episode of GameByte wants you to get 10% off of all your purchases from Jinx.com. Yes, use the promo code QuitStalling_366 when you check out on Jinx.com and save yourself 10% off of your entire shopping cart. Oh, do you want some Anthem shirts? Because, you know, the game itself ain't that good. Do you want some of the Division 2 shirts? Because apparently that's doing a lot better nowadays. Well, head on over to Jinx.com. Use the promo code QuitStalling_366 when you check out and save yourself 10%. That's a lot of percent, man. That's 10. It's 10. Like on a scale of 10 out of 10, it's like a 1. It's 10%. Save yourself some money. QuitStalling_366 to check out. Welcome, everyone, to GameByte. Yes, GameByte, the longest weekly episodic podcast here on the QuitStalling Media Network. I mean, we've done more of these, right? Like, as of this episode, we've done more of these in the Geekcast. The Geekcast is about to tie it on Friday, but that's not what we're talking about, okay? We're talking about video games here on GameByte. We're talking about video games. And you know what? Let's get to it. But it's not just about me. It's not just about me here on the QuitStalling on GameByte. We got co-hosts. And no Insta-DZ today. No D's nuts. But we do have my other regular co-host. He's known as the Fury Bot. He's welcoming you into his inn. As DZ would say, on the other side of the spectrum? I don't know why DZ says that, but this man is Mick DeGuzman. How you doing, Mick?
I was kind of surprised when I saw myself on the screen. Hey, everybody. Good evening. Good evening to our guests. And, of course, good evening to you, Herald. Sorry I wasn't here last week.
Sorry.
My bad. Had to do work. I was in chat, though. Saying
yeah,
hello
you
to all
were.
the peeps out there. Yeah.
Good on you, man.
But anyway,
good on you.
Yeah. I'm good to go. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. A lot. Let's go. Let's do this.
A lot. I don't have much time, so we got to get going. And with me and Mick today, you know, he's not from Silicon Valley, but he will pie your piper. It's Jopes Gallardo. How you doing, Jopes?
Hello, Harold. Okay, thank you very much for guesting me again here at GameByte, and congratulations for 87 episodes. Something that we can't even do in the other channel. So, yeah.
87, man. Has it been that long? Are we that old, Mick? We are 87 episodes old.
When it becomes 100, please. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, trust me, we got big plans
We got big
plans for GameByte 100. We are.
Yeah, man.
Saving
we're
our
13
money
weeks
for that.
away. 13 weeks, man. I can't believe how close episode 100 is. It's so close. But Mick, you know, we're gonna reminisce about the times we've had on GameByte 13 weeks from now. But at the moment, it's about the here. It's about the present. We got Jopes on the show, and no DZ. That means we can let loose. No, I'm just kidding. But
we can just say these nuts 13 times. These nuts.
DZ's not here to hold us back anymore, Mick.
Mad.
No, but you know what? We start the show the same way every time, and why break tradition? I'm gonna ask everyone in the chat, and of course my co-hosts, what have you been playing? Chat, let us know if you're listening to the podcast after the fact, or if you're listening to, or if you're watching the YouTube version. Hit us up in the comments, tweet us, #GameByte. Let us know what you've been playing. Mick, Jopes, who wants to go first? What have you guys been playing? I want to know. I gotta know.
I feel like Jopes should go first since he is our guest for tonight.
Oh, that's true.
Jopes, what have you been playing, my good sir?
Well, ever since my last guesting, I've been playing a lot of things, obviously. But recently, I have been addicted to this small battle royale game called Tetris 99.
Yes!
And, the top ranking that I got was 3rd. It was so intense. I almost got like this close to winning, but damn it, I think I panicked. But also recently, I've been playing again player A scenario for Resident 2. Yes.
For the what? Sorry. Oh, for the PS4.
For the PS4, yes.
Awesome, dude.
Okay. Why? I'm sensing something about the PS4, about you and the PS4. But anyway, also I just recently acquired this one, Devil May Cry 5 on the Xbox One. So
Cool.
don't
Nice.
ask me why I don't buy on PC because the PC is coming. I still don't have a PC per se, but it's still coming this Saturday.
What are you
Ooh.
streaming on? What are you using right now to talk to us?
I'm using what do you mean, the camera? Or
Like,
the-
is that an
the-
iPad? Like, if you don't, like, are you not, since you're not using a PC? Like, what are you talking to us
Oh, yeah, I'm using my MacBook Pro.
through? Ooh.
Ooh,
Mr.
interesting.
Bucks Aplenty over here. As
Something
it's
that
needed.
one.
yeah,
Sorry,
it's needed
go
for
ahead.
work,
No, go
right?
on,
It's
no.
needed for work.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's required for work. So I'm actually I don't want to talk about my job here.
Are
Anyway,
you sure?
So
Are you sure? I mean, we could. We could.
I'm a mobile
It's
developer.
not so bad. Ooh.
Oh yeah, a mobile dev.
Yeah. And I'm currently in a startup as well. Well, it's if you know auditioning to certain roles or certain what do you call this positions in the entertainment industry, we have a website that automates that. So that's also part of this, the reason why I needed a MacBook Pro. So yeah.
Makes
But
sense,
yeah.
dude.
Okay.
Yeah. So how is RE4 and how are RE4 and Devil May Cry treating you
RE2.
in general? Are you happy? Sorry, RE2. Are you happy?
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of RE2 because there are plenty of like free DLCs on it. There are 3 campaigns that were pushed through last month for free, and so far they've been enjoyable. They've been thrilling. Have you tried playing RE2?
I mean, back in the
The
day.
remake one?
Back in the day. No, not the remade one.
Oh.
I'm sure the remade
I-
one will be too terrifying for me. I don't think I'm ready. I don't think I'm ready.
It's so
I don't
terrifying.
like horror games. I'm sorry. I hate it. I honestly
You
hate
guys, you know, it only gets you only need to get through one horror game before you actually get used to it.
Okay.
So for
it.
for
The
me,
jump scares.
for me it was Fatal Frame. So ever since I've been like,
classic.
playing a lot of horror games. Yeah, we should play it here. I mean,
Oh, dude, I would be so down because I was about to bring it up. You know, one of my favorite things of recent memory is when we see the clips of you guys playing horror games, and especially you. Like, I love your reactions
Yeah.
because it makes me just realize that I should just play. You know, especially in front of a camera. It's so much more fun when people share the experience with you and share the terror, and like. I really admire the fact that you could laugh at yourself because I'm a very self-conscious person, Jopes. All right, I'm one of those types of people that just can't laugh. I'm humorless.
It doesn't show that much. So,
I
but
keep my posture. Oh my god.
I'm
your
poised.
composure. You're keeping
Poise.
your composure. Mick? Really?
Oh,
You have-
me.
You really have an
Me.
image to protect?
Oh, do I? Nah, not really. I don't really care.
Actually, it's weird because some of the viewers of our horror that horror stories horror streams last Halloween. A lot of people are saying that we were overacting to it, but to
Nah,
be honest,
man.
No, it's okay. But
Those are some genuine jump scares.
It was, especially the camera panning. It was so unexpected. But at the same time, me playing, say, a VR game and Until Dawn, the VR game, I really screamed my heart out to the point of making the entire family also scream with me. Without any reason, without even looking at the TV, they also screamed with me. So, yeah. So I really love horror games, but at the same time, I'm really curious about Devil May Cry 5 because the first game, the first entry of the franchise, I did play on PlayStation 2.
Awesome.
And it does feel a little bit samey, albeit a little bit more floaty at some point, but it is enjoyable. It is fun. Lots of campaigns, but I haven't finished it yet. Devil May Cry 5. And when I feel like not playing any of these games, I just play Tetris 99 or Rocket League. So
Ooh.
Ah, man, relaxing games at the same time, very competitive games, very
Yes.
competitive games.
I try not to be competitive. I just want to like learn a skill. So
Yeah.
learn skills.
That's the
I
best
can
way.
even-
That's the best way.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Mick? What have you been playing?
Oh,
Should
thank- Yeah, that's great. Thank you, man. Thank you for asking. Well, aside from Apex Legends and Hearthstone, I picked up this really nice mobile game that I want to show you guys. It's called Cash Inc. I don't know if you guys know
Ooh.
this, but it's a very good toilet game. In the invented toilet rating system that toilet game rating system that InstaD's nuts himself created. This actually gets this
Two
actually
words
gets a 3.5 hours out of a possible 10 hours. Oh, sorry, a possible 5 hours. Because let's be honest here, I don't think you'll last. Cash Inc. as an INC incorporated. So if you wanna go with that, yeah. But then it looks like this. Oh, I don't know if you can see it. Let me put it up in the screen. But it's so much fun. I mean, it's fun in the sense that it reminds me of Tiny Tower, something that I used to play back in college. And instead of an
Not so
8-bit
long.
feel, it's more modernized in terms of its look and feel. And you could say it's a little dragging or a little tedious, but then everything's automated. You just have to look at it, press on like some paper plane that passes by and get instant money, or like spin a wheel if you watch an ad. But it's fine. I'm okay with that. It's just a game to pass the time when I'm not playing when I have no one to play Apex with because of all of the hackers. I don't want to get queued with them. And yeah, well, aside from that, I haven't. That's all I've been playing. What about you, Harold? What have you been playing?
Thanks, man. Like, I did want to say, like, sometimes a grindy game is what you want. You know, there's a bit of a masochistic pleasure people take with grindy
Yeah.
games,
Yeah.
and I totally get it. Don't worry, like, I totally get it. And like it's why we like MMOs, right? Isn't that why
It's
we
like
like MMOs?
it's why we love MMORPGs
Yeah.
and traditional JRPGs as well.
Guys, can you catch me up why you're talking about why you talk about these games as toilet raiding games? I
Oh
know
no,
you
we
can
call
sit
them
on
toilet. Yeah, no, we call them toilet games because the thing is,
No,
when-
you said toilet raiding games. I
no,
understand
toilet
you can play-
rating. I mean,
We have a
like, there's
toilet rating system.
We have a rating system for it that we say 1 to 5
misheard.
hours, 1 to
Okay.
5 hours per, and then we rate it by how many hours we can actually sit on the toilet playing this game, even if we're not doing anything or like we're finished, doing number 2, right?
Yeah.
Dropping a deuce.
I was
see,
just fixated on
Show
the
Fox
idea
gets
of
it.
the toilet raiding part.
Oh, Jopes, don't worry. We will raid some toilets if you want. All right, like that is at your request. We will get to it. We will get to it.
Live?
Oh,
live. We'll,
live.
we'll
Oh,
stream
oh.
it. We'll stream it live.
Oh, and one last thing, I uninstalled Anthem already after 3
Oh,
weeks
Oh
of
man.
Pro
trying my
move.
best to enjoy the game. After like 3 weeks of trying to enjoy the game, I finished the main story, so I think that's the most important part. I didn't
yeah.
reach max level, and connection errors are still there. No one is playing apparently. Like,
Did you ever get
Most of my-
that bald guy fused back together? Did you ever get him fused back together?
oh, I haven't even finished that. That's not even part of the main storyline. Apparently, that's the side quest for the Arcanist, because he's an Arcanist, and it takes so long. And to think that the contract has like 3 events in that big map, and then
Beautiful.
you can't like, since there's no one playing, when you queue, you're by yourself, so it's even harder because the blue contracts are harder than the regular ones. So it's
Yeah.
hard to do it solo because there's a ton of opponents.
That's a
So
pain.
I just had enough. Uninstalled it from the game. When it goes 50% off, maybe I'd buy it again. Maybe I'd even buy for Herald and maybe even for you, Jopes, so that we can just play it. Because the thing is, that's how much the game is worth. 50% off of its original price.
Mhm.
That's the truth. All right?
Even
No,
even
unfortunate.
in the future, right? Even months from now, it's gonna be half the price, right?
Oh, definitely. Like in 3 months, they're gonna drop the price in a super sale and something like that. Maybe
Ugh.
even 70% off. hopefully 70% off, so I can save a lot of money because I am gonna buy a lot of people some copies. You know, if you know what I mean.
For
But
sure,
then-
they'll be making up. They'll be building up expansions in that, and you have to.
Oh,
pay
yeah.
full
Apparently,
price.
their 90
Maybe.
days will come with an
Yeah.
expansion that they
Maybe.
they'll give away for free. So the base game itself will have more content. At the same time, there's an expansion that they're gonna add that doesn't hinder progression per se, but will give the people who actually bought the DLC an advantage as compared to those who just bought the base game and didn't really care about the DLCs. Right?
Well, we'll see about that. All
Let's
right,
see.
I still don't trust EA. Shillfox in the chat says we all need at least one mobile game.
One mobile
See, he
game.
gets it. He gets it. All right, you need at least one game, one go-to game when you're dropping the Dookie. Right, when you're taking the Browns to the Super Bowl, you need at least one. Right, aside from Instagram and Reddit and Facebook and all those other apps, you need one toilet game.
You need
That's-
toilet game.
That's a fact of life, all right? The facts of life. Koenigstigger in the chat says, nobody playing Anthem, quote unquote. There's a boycott ongoing. Is that like a legit boycott, or is that more
It's
like
a legit
everyone-
boycott.
Oh.
We can talk about it a bit later on in the show because it's quite
Okay.
long. But yeah, right now the Anthem subreddit is booming with boycott the game. We can dive into that a little bit later because apparently me and Jopes actually read some of the articles, and I even went to the subreddit to read a bit of the salty things that people had to say about the game.
Yeah. That's awesome.
right, yeah.
That's awesome. Jopes, I'm loving your optical steady shot. It's
Looks
really fascinating.
absolutely great. Looks absolutely great. Look at that. It's amazing. Anyway,
ridiculous,
Harold,
the
what have you
quality.
been playing?
The quality is absolutely ridiculous. I can't.
Yeah.
I need more. Thanks for asking, Mick.
Yeah.
I have been playing. Well, I've barely been playing video games because of things unfolding as they have been. But I have been able to squeeze in a couple of hours in Apex Legends. It's been fun.
Nice.
I have yet to encounter super ridiculous bots because of I haven't been playing as much as everyone else. So I've encountered good players who I assume are good players because they miss. So I'm assuming they're good because they're not perfect. But yeah, aside from that, like I haven't been able to play much in terms of video games. If we're talking about Herald plays, Harold's been playing some sports. Harold's been playing some basketball and getting himself hurt. But aside from that, there's not much in the land of video gaming over the past week. And I hope that's gonna change over this week because I gotta get me some more gaming. All right, gotta get me some more gaming. So, ladies and gentlemen in the chat, and everyone who refuses to be identified as such, all our theys and theirs and thems, let us know what you've been up to. Let us know what you've been playing. Either message us in the chat if you're watching live, put it in the comments, or tweet us on the tweeters. #GameByte. You can quit stalling us as well. Let us know what you've been playing. But now it's time to get to the news because we don't have much time. Time is growing short. Time is running out. And let's do this. It's time for This Week in Video Games.
This Week in Video Games.
Yes, that is such a smooth transition. I did plan that absolutely 100%. That was miracle work by these fingers. Ladies and gentlemen, This Week in Video Games is brought to you by the Quit Stalling Geekcast. Check us out this Friday, 1 p.m. Philippine Standard Time. I'm pretty sure it's 10 p.m. California now because of daylight savings. We're going to get hit by that, and it's going to be strange.
Yep.
We're already hit by that on GameByte here. But you know what? We're going to power through it. This week, a lot of news to talk about. Next week, this week we're going to review Captain Marvel. But next week, we've got the folks over from Panels in Los Angeles, California. Panels, Coffee, and Comics. Check out that episode next week. We got those lovely folks on the show. Lachelle and her crew are going to be coming over on the Geekcast and talking about a lot of geeky stuff, especially about Panels. Those guys at Panels actually were able to make an appearance on what was then known as Fat Man on Batman, Kevin Smith's podcast. It's currently known as Fat Man Beyond. Now, they made a little appearance in the Q&A section, and they gave Kevin Smith and Mark Bernardin some cool swag from their shop. So good stuff, guys. Looking forward to that next week. We got some activity in the chat. before we get to this week in video games, I want to read a couple of these out real quick. BMO King of Wu in the chat says they already made a low sodium Anthem subreddit. So low sodium meaning, salt free, or not salt free, but low salt, low in salt. And Rival in the chat says finished Anthem, then went back to Warframe. Why not? Why not? Warframe is like what Anthem is going to be a couple of months, maybe a year or two from now. Warframe has gone through that already, so they've gotten dialed down a little bit. Mick in the chat also said I went back to Hearthstone after I finished the story. Hi Mick, I read out what you said because you weren't here to read it. It's cool. And then Chill Fox said currently playing Splatoon 2 multiplayer. Oh, Splatoon 2.
Wow. It's fun. It's fun.
Man,
it's a lot of fun.
Jopes, I know you want to talk about Nintendo, so we'll get to that in just a second. But since we're already on the topic of Splatoon, I do want to say they missed out. With ARMS, with Splatoon 2, Nintendo kind of missed out on potential esports ready games, and it's a little, it's a little bit of a bummer. But yeah, hopefully,
I wouldn't call them out just yet for that because they are building that up. Smash is starting to get bigger. ARMS,
even bigger than before.
Even bigger.
Yes, super big. But as far as ARMS is concerned, it did sell well, ARMS, but it did attract a lot of esports buzz on it.
Yeah, man, especially at the start.
The thing is, when you talk about Nintendo and esports, nothing has really come nothing has come in memory that's as popular as Smash or at least Melee. You haven't heard of any like esport game, even Mario Kart. There's no esports for esport competition for Mario Kart. So
there should be.
As far as missing out, I feel like they're starting to build this division where they could like start or kickstart certain events for esports, and they should do that. They should invest on that. But as far as missing out, I think they're just in the infancy stage of it all. I wouldn't cut them out yet them just yet about missing out on esports.
Yeah, fingers crossed, man. There's definitely a market, especially for Smash. And when ARMS was about to come out, I knew a ton of people locally who wanted to get competitive with ARMS, and it's just that the game wasn't ready. There were a lot of bugs. Some characters were too OP compared to others. Others were barely competitive compared to certain tiers of characters. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but hopefully, like you said, that they're building towards that, and there's a future for it.
Yeah.
I just want to ask Herald, have you tried the latest Smash game?
I have not been able to try it, but I have it accessible. And the thing is, me, DZ, I'm not sure if you know him, Nick Sensalis, one of our Overwatch shoutcasters. We were all supposed to play, maybe even cast it a little bit, but it was the holidays when it came out, so we never got never got around to doing it.
But
I wanted to get smashed.
Mick, I know you have a Switch, but have you gotten Smash? Because I
already completed all the characters. I main Roy, dude. I main Roy. I main Roy and Lucina. Those are the two I like.
I forgot the name of my mate, but it's also a Fire Emblem character. It's
you mean Chrom?
Chrom, yes,
Ike.
Top tier.
Chrom and Roy are practically the same. It's just that they only have a different up B or I think up A.
Chrom has a better aerial has a better aerial maneuvering thing.
Roy has better recovery. That's the only thing I know. Stronger attacks, but then let's not get into the details. This is gonna go on for like the whole time.
No man, Roy has 7 frames on him. All right, Roy has
he has 7 frames based on what we've learned from our old guest from back all the way back.
That's a throwback. Martin Estrella, that's a throwback, dude.
Yeah, right there, dude.
All right. Let's finish up in the chat. Upbeat91 says only esport game was Melee, and Melee is still very much beloved in the FGC. Shill Fox in the chat said Splatoon 2 has and Evo. Yeah, they were up in Evo. Shill Fox in the chat said Splatoon 2 has a good competitive scene, Pokemon competitive is kind of huge, but it's only in its own bubble. That's true. You know, you've had tournaments in Hawaii, and again, we don't want to get too far into that rabbit hole because we got some news to talk about. But those are good topics that we should save for the future. We should really bring those up, especially with Mick. I know people who've competed, like Juancho Saldana, my co-host on the
yes,
about that is 99.
Oh, BMO King of Woo in the chat said Tetris 99. Let's go.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty recent, and that's why it didn't occur to me that it's an esport already. But to be honest, it is really thrilling to see the attacks. I mean, I've been inviting a while ago. I was inviting Mick to also join the family account on my Nintendo Switch Online.
For Tetris 99.
Your family.
So if you guys, yeah, so that you could play Tetris 99 free, and you've got to play it to really know what's in it. And I mean, like Apex Legends, I did try it. I didn't know that it does feel a bit like Titanfall 2.
It does.
Yeah.
Super fast.
Especially with the sliding. I wish there was the double jump. I mean, all the smart mechanics that they put in, it's unbelievable that they've done this for like only for a year.
Yeah.
So it's just amazing how the talents behind Respawn can do so much, considering Anthem being this mess of a game right now. And it's the same company. So,
well, technically no, because EA didn't really have anything to do with. Same publisher.
I think that a recipe for success, man. When the publisher does not interfere with development, that's when the game just becomes amazing. Right?
200% agree.
Yeah. Unless it's self-published, then you can't really avoid it.
Yeah, then you can't really avoid it.
You mean PUBG? Yeah. Sorry.
No, man.
Oh wow, man. PUBG is a whole different game.
I mean, they made all the money they could. They could.
They made all the money they could.
That's a hard act to follow. But all right, we were on the topic of Nintendo. Let me reel you guys back into Nintendo. All right, let me whip this lasso around Jopes' neck. Oh my, Jopes.
Oh my.
You know, we talked about Reggie Fils-Aimé, our home slice Reggie, 2 weeks ago on this show. But I know you wanted to say to give us your insight, your sage wisdom words. That's not a sentence. Your sage words of wisdom. There we go. I fixed it.
Sage words of wisdom.
See, that's why we're on Discord, because you get to edit this. Jopes, man, give us your thoughts on Reggie Fils-Aimé leaving Nintendo.
I was actually I guess sad was an understatement. I didn't cry out loud for him resigning because I know he's kind of old. This was already expected during the Wii U era. And then everyone's gonna be resigning except for Miyamoto, because Miyamoto loves his ego and all. But that kind of went out as a rant. But anyway, so Reggie Fils-Aimé is one of those good guys in the gaming industry, pretty much like Satoru Iwata, previous CEO of Nintendo. All I can say is that the industry needed more Reggie Fils-Aimés in this generation, or this generation of gaming. The one who replaced him was Doug Bowser. Doug Bowser, pretty appropriate for a Nintendo company, a Mario company. Doug Bowser is actually came from EA, and according to my research, he came from EA. And Procter and Gamble. Yeah. So actually,
P&G, man.
I think they were colleagues in Procter and Gamble, him and Reggie Fils-Aimé. But Doug Bowser came from EA, so I'm wondering how he's gonna play with directing. Well, the thing is, Nintendo Studios are all located in Japan, so he wouldn't have any say on how they produce games, or how they build games, or develop games. But as far as bringing in content for the Nintendo Switch, will they be more focused on the online aspect? Will they be more focused on the multiplayer aspect? We won't know. But so far, Doug Bowser is like the same old goofy bag, like Reggie Fils-Aimé. Yeah. But I was saddened by him retiring. I know he he needed to retire because he's really old. But at the same time, he came out with a valuation of $40 million. And that is that's
Very
a
good
lot.
purse. I'm pretty sure he still has stocks in Nintendo.
He does have
Nintendo
stocks.
of America. So he's still gonna make money, and he might be a consultant in the future with certain things. Like if
I
Doug
don't know
Bowser
if
has a
he's
hard
still
time with
consulting.
certain things.
Maybe he's gonna be part of the board. I don't know.
Maybe.
But
Could be.
but the wording was retirement, so he's gonna
Yeah.
focus on his kids, his family,
And it's $40 million.
No, the $40 million
Just why not?
probably in stock.
Because why not?
But
sir?
if you compare it to if you remember, there was this news that came out like a week or 2 weeks ago about how overpaid CEOs of gaming companies are.
Yeah.
There were two companies, EA. What was the name of the Andy Wilson? Yeah, Andy Wilson was paid last year for an amount of $28 million. If you compare
Wow.
it to Reggie Fils-Aimé's overall valuation, which is $40 million, that's peanuts for Andy Wilson. So
I wouldn't say peanuts though. I would probably say like
he was paid in cash $28 million last year.
No, I mean
Cash
like
and
think
stocks.
about it. Andy Wilson got like a really nice surf and turf, and then Phil Ames got
Phil
an Ebby burger. Phil Ames.
Phil's Ames.
Phil's Ames. Or Phil's Ames.
We had a good
He got an Ebby burger from the new Ebby burger from McDo. Still good, but it's not as good as a surf and turf. I mean, come on.
I think it just reflects on the values of these people,
Yeah.
of these CEOs.
Just show.
I mean, Andy Wilson had like 28 million. I remember Bob Kotick of Activision
Yeah,
was
Bobby
paid
Kotick.
like around
Kotick.
$32 million last year.
That's
Considering
ridiculous.
considering they laid off 400 people, and you have Nintendo having Satoru Iwata slash his salary, also Reggie Fils-Aimé slash his salary during a crisis.
Wow.
We're losing good people in the gaming industry. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm just hoping that Doug Bowser is also a good one. He came from EA. Maybe he's fed up with all the shit that came out from. Sorry, am I allowed to say that?
Well,
I mean,
you can
just-
in
you just did,
not in
it's fine.
moderation, like just a little bit,
fine.
just a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, with all the stuff that I mean, maybe he's all fed up with all the stuff that EA has been pulling off for the past few years. At the same time, that's also my question. Really, is Doug Bowser really also a good guy in the gaming industry? Knowing that they also had like this news coming out that they're trying to like moderate all the mobile developers to stop from overcharging customers with their mobile apps. So yeah, Nintendo has been this good guy, has always had this good guy image in the gaming industry that no one is following. So and anyone who resigns from Nintendo, it feels like a punch in the gut.
Yeah.
Especially we all here love gaming, love the game industry.
Oh no, I'm just here for the money.
I wish.
Harold
there's
just here for
money.
the poop show.
I'm,
Poop show, because I can't say the other word.
I'm here for the money and the fame
And the gamer girls,
and the e-girls.
the game.
You really have to put
And by
those
gamer
two-
girls, we mean those girls in the conventions that say,
And
"Hey,
boys.
try our new game," and then you ask them about it, and they know nothing about the game. I love that. I love those people. They're the best. Not that I'm trashing on them or anything. I just love it because the thing is, I get to ramble. That's
Yeah.
the thing. Oh yeah,
You're-
this game is blah blah blah. This is what you should say. Blah, blah, blah.
You're like preying on their vulnerabilities, right?
Not really. Not really. I just like being informative, but then at the same time, I don't want to sound like a know-it-all, but I am a know-it-all.
Yeah, we all are.
We all are to a certain extent.
All right, well, moving on. No, but yeah, Jopes, I get your point. You know, you're sad that people who we see as good guys in the gaming industry are, some of the more prominent ones are disappearing, and hopefully more step up in their wake. Who knows, right? Who knows? I'm sure this has happened in a less public eye. It's just more prevalent now because of the internet and how accessible all this news is, and how much more we know about these companies. Because a couple of years ago, it was hard to know as much as we do now about the companies that we love. Nintendo, Blizzard on our end, and at the same time, it's also easier to know the scummy dealings of certain companies.
I mean, it's just
certain
fascinating
electronic arts creators. Creators of arts that are electronic.
True.
And since you mentioned that we already have the internet to access all this information, it's just fascinating to just observe how like a grown ass man age backwards, have fun with it, and still pull off like a president position in Nintendo. It was so fun watching him.
Yeah.
So fun watching him do that. Hopefully we could have more of those cookie things.
True. Because I think the reason why he's beloved is because we can somewhat relate to him.
He's just a goofball.
He's a goofball that is not afraid to be a goofball in front of people.
Yeah,
because the thing is, you could see that there are people like in E3 when they present the CEO of like whatever Activision. He tries to be a goofball. They have these scripted things, and it just feels so generic. You know what I mean? But there are some people who are actually like genuine enough to actually be either a goofball or just really be like a full gamer, like Mike Morheim. Mike Morheim, for example, the bassist of Elite Tauren Chieftain. Okay, he's the former CEO. He's a consultant now. At the same time,
he was a consultant. He's not a consultant.
He was a consultant. Okay, fine. Sorry, I stand correct. He's a former consultant, and he's still the bassist of Elite Tauren Chieftain. I love it. I am Murloc.
Yeah, no, it's really cool, and because we do see a lot of suits in these positions, it makes us appreciate people who we see as more genuine, like the people who grounded out, like the guys at Blizzard who we've seen in their own stories, in their own documentaries about how they struggled from the very beginning, and they just kept doing what they loved and ended up being where they are. So it's awesome. And guys like Doug Bowser, like Jope said, we hope their shoes get filled, and sorry, not Doug Bowser. Guys like Reggie Fils-Aimé, we hope their shoes get filled, and hopefully Doug Bowser is someone worthy of stepping up like this.
Exactly,
good stuff.
Jopes, I'm loving the new HDR XR5 20V.
What is that? Is that a
webcam suit? I got my webcam suit.
Standby time. It's a standby time of his. He's using his video camera, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, isn't there like
it goes on standby? It goes on standby.
Yeah, isn't there a setting for that?
Yeah, the screen.
There is a settings for that, but it doesn't work. It
doesn't work. Okay, all right.
That's the worst when it's software. When it's software that you can't control and you can't patch.
And it's proprietary, so you can hack it.
Yeah.
But anyway, I guess that's it for my take on Reggie Fils-Aimé's exit on Nintendo.
Awesome. Yeah, awesome, man. We're glad you were able to share that with us here today. So let's move on to other pieces of news. Mick, let's go through this real quick. Sure. Artifact is a game that's come and gone, and we'll talk more in depth about Artifact with a guest in the future. I think we're gonna get Havatite on the show.
Havatite. We can't say it the way that we.
That's how I know it. That's how I know it.
That's how.
I don't know what to talk about.
That's how we say it. That's how the internet. That's how ESL Asia pronounces it. So we're gonna stick with that. Havatite.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Also in Hearthstone, because he is a former Hearthstone esport player, and he's actually an aspiring Artifact esport player that does love the game very much, and it's nice to get someone here who is actually a big fan of Artifact, and just to see what his take is, because we're just outsiders looking in, right? Let's be honest here, because I didn't buy the game. I didn't think it was worth it for $1,000. So 1,000 pesos.
so-
Sorry, I can't say it in bucks because you might think it's $1,000.
I think it's from Milwaukee. No, but the artifact.
You could actually spend $1,000. You can actually spend $1,000 in that game.
You can.
Yeah, you can.
You can, but just buying all the cards that you need, you'll spend about 1,500 pesos, all in all.
Yeah.
The game, including the game and the cards. So that's pretty convenient. But then I guess we should move on to the news. So apparently, Richard Garfield, the man behind the whole concept of Artifact, well, not really totally behind it, but he's the one who was acting. He was under contract along with Valve, creating this game, Artifact.
Okay.
How the gameplay mechanics were.
Game design.
They just let him go back in February, so their contract is no longer active. So, along with a number of other people who were laid off in the production team of Artifact, and just seeing this, does it mean that the guy who's actually the god of card games, in my opinion, because he did create Magic the Gathering. He created the game I love right now, which is Keyforge. He created a plethora of other games. Just seeing how he was laid off by Valve.
Unceremonious.
Does this mean Artifact is going to a different direction? Does it mean that they might just bring it to the back door and let it free and just die out somewhere?
Or it could just be a boy band, no direction.
Oh, damn. Jopes with a shade. Jopes with
Bam!
a shade.
Throwing shade. I want to
But
get your
that
thoughts
is-
on this, guy.
Yeah, but that is the
just-
question on
just-
everyone's
just-
mind.
It's like what Jackma said, right? You should try to be the best. You should try to be the first. And Artifact was definitely not the first. You already had Hearthstone. You already had Gwent as well, and Gwent actually came before Artifact. So, what part of the market can they still bring in to the game? And right now,
I would
it's
argue
just-
that Hearthstone was not first. It was actually decades
Oh, yeah.
behind. You
It's
have
decades behind.
Digimon trading card game for the PlayStation.
Bam! Right there. No, I was gonna say that. Yeah. No, I was just gonna say that how Artifact is actually it's the first of its kind where it is a card game, but it's 3 separate boards that are happening all at the same time.
Yeah.
So the amount of random number generation, in terms of how lucky you can get or how bad you can get, triples, because you have 3 boards that you have to take care of, and then you have to look at your cards and you have to make sure that whatever it is that you're using, you use it for this minion, but then the other minion needed it more, so he's just the other hero needed it more, so he's gonna die. So there's a bit of strategy into it. I feel like that what happened here is that, like what we mentioned, I think a few weeks back, Harold, I think it was a month ago maybe. I think the problem with Artifact is that they weren't being incentivized. Now there was no like winning. You get nothing when you win, aside from the fact that you won a long 30-minute to 1-hour match.
Oh yeah,
Against
yeah.
someone.
We did bring this up.
Yeah, there's no progression system. There's no ranking system. At the time that we were covering this, that was back, I think a month back, maybe even 2 months back. But then there was no progression system. There was no
sorry.
incentives for actually winning a match, and there was no point. I mean, because you could buy all of the cards that you need in the community market. So
you can
right?
you can compensate with the half-baked nature of Artifact with just having full fan support on it. Probably
True.
The first thing that Artifact failed on was the support from all the Valve fans, because this is not what they want. And
they wanted Dota
it's-
3. That's the truth.
Do we still
They
need,
wanted Dota
do we
3
still need more Dota at this
or
point?
Half-Life
anyway?
3.
Yeah, Half-Life 3 is definitely like something
Yeah.
everyone is clamoring for. But
Yeah.
I was wondering if this is going to be like the comeback game that Valve is gonna put up. It's gonna be like it's gonna be the worst ever to come back to gaming, to producing games or developing games, because it's so obviously cheap, the concept. Even if they hire the Magic the Gathering game designer, people expect production quality, full production on the next Valve game, and seeing Artifact seems like to be like.
I mean, it
this
looks
cool
great
water-
though.
I would honestly say it actually looks better than Hearthstone in
But-
terms of its art style.
But you have.
But
your
I do
Valve
get what you
fans.
mean.
Yeah, you have your
Where
Valve fans
it's
who are
not
used-
it's not up to standard with the Valve fans. Yeah.
Yes, I mean if you talk about Valve fans, you're talking about Portal, you're talking about Half-Life, you're talking about Team Fortress. These are really well-produced games, and Artifact doesn't look like it. I mean, it could even fit in as a 1 month mobile app. And
Yeah.
if I were like a hardcore Valve fan, I will be saddened by it, and I will lose all hope that Valve will make a great game again. So
Make Valve
I mean-
great again is what Jopes is saying. All right, make
Bam.
Valve great again.
Bam.
You heard it here first. Jopes Gallardo saying, "Make Valve great again."
Great again. Half-Life 3
I
confirmed.
feel, like I'm forcing myself, I feel like I'm forcing myself to do these quotes today. But anyway, I don't know. But yeah, I guess that's it. I mean, I love Portal a lot, and I wish they could do more Portal. And then they bring us like this bridge construction game, just to have like this Portal idea in it. I mean, it's a disgrace for a great company who used to make great games. So.
Yeah. Yeah, so
You heard it first here, folks.
and keep your eyes out.
Spicy.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, keep your eyes out for our episode with Habitat, where we talk more in depth about Artifact and the virtual. You would call it a virtual TCG genre, right, Mick?
Mhm.
Is it?
Virtual TCG. Oh,
Yeah.
it's actually called this. Well, for this it's actually a TCG because you can trade your cards.
Yeah, this one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like any other card game like Gwent or any other game that is a CCG, which is
Yeah.
a card collectible game. So
Yeah. It's a trading card game,
Collectible
not
card
a collectible
game,
card
there,
game.
exactly.
Yeah. Where
Yeah, there we go.
your cards are your cards, pretty much.
your cards are your cards. You can dust them, and then you can make new cards, or you can.
Yeah.
But either way, you can't trade them, and there's no market for them.
Yeah, that's the main difference. All right, so keep your eyes out for that episode. Moving on, Fortnite. Fortnite is a game that a lot of people play worldwide, and they've come under some controversy because it's pop culture, and it's the modern era where almost nothing is unpiratable. So, yeah, there was a set of lawsuits. There were a set of lawsuits recently from folks like Terrence Ferguson, a rapper known as 2 Milli, Alfonso Ribeiro, who you see on screen right now if you're watching the video feed. He's known as Carlton Banks from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Those two, the Backpack Kid and apparently some kid named the Orange Shirt Kid, who've all had their dances put into Fortnite. And the main controversy behind this is there's a paywall behind getting the dances, and they're not getting any royalties, and they wanted royalties, and they had lawsuits. Put out against Epic Games, and they're dropped now. A Supreme Court ruling on copyright law has forced them to wait for the dances, for dances in general to be granted copyright registration. So if you originated a dance, if you pioneered a dance, right now you are not safe from a company like Epic Games putting your dance into their video game or putting your dance into their movie. There's no stopping people. And that's the main gist of this. And at the moment, I think that's the very basis of it. Like, you can't. There's not much more to talk about it. We've scratched the surface on this in the past, and until we get more detail on where the potential Supreme Court rulings will be in terms of making laws for copywriting dances, I think that's the end of it. Unless you guys have something to say, like.
But I'd be interested to hear you guys what you think about this. Like,
Well, tune in to GameByte episode 55 where we talked about it a couple.
Yes.
No.
Sorry.
No.
Episode 70, I think 70 something.
Something like that. No,
70
but
something.
Jopes,
Something
like
there. Last year.
me and DZ were actually very split on this. Mick was more
Neutral.
no, he
Neutral
was
about it.
he was more neutral, but also sort of siding with Diego. Where, in my opinion, I think it's sort of not fair that these guys don't get any money from it because it's their art. Dance is an art, and because they can't copyright dance, it's easy to steal their art. So it's kind of not fair to them, and they're not getting any money from it. Versus a musician, music is their art, and it's easier to copyright that, and it's easier to enforce that kind of thing. So for me, it was more of, if you made the dance, you should be able to make some money if someone else puts a paywall in front of your dance in their video game. And that's pretty much what my point boiled down to is it's art, it's their art, and they should be able to make money off of their art.
No, I agree with you actually on that one. Every form of art should have been, well, in the first place, all forms of art should be copyrighted through the proper processes. The problem with this is that, especially with Alfonso, he made the dance in a show, which is Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I was wondering if the copyright is actually held by the producers or the licensors.
Actually, he doesn't
the
have
show.
he doesn't have his own copyright. No one was issued their own copyright
Yeah.
for specific dances because
Yeah.
I guess the most logical explanation to that is that you can't. There's no way for you to prove that you were the one who originated the dance, as compared to like songs where there's actually a physical copy that you could listen to. You can even have like notes on the sheet or even original lyrics that can prove that it's your song.
I remember the argument is also that you cannot. The reason why they can't copyright their dance is because you cannot copyright a few dance steps. But if it's a full dance routine, they definitely can do that. And
They can definitely do that. The problem is that
actually do that.
Yeah. The problem is
That's
that
pretty cool.
with most dances in the world, it's basically a mix mash already of existing dances from before.
Actually, I'm curious why you haven't put in Donald Faison in this list.
Because he never filed a complaint. He never filed a lawsuit.
Definitely. But his dance routine is far longer than any of the plaintiffs here.
So for those unfamiliar, Donald Faison is the actor who played Chris Turk in Scrubs.
Yeah.
He had his
love that show.
he had his Poison dance routine totally ripped off. Not just with Fortnite, although Fortnite is the most popular one. But that is, as Job said, that is a full-on routine that he came up with on the spot, because the man is blessed with moves.
Yes.
With the moves.
It's like a 1 minute routine, right? Or like 30-second routine.
Yeah, and if you watch Scrubs, the janitor actually, went up to one of his cronies on the show, and he was like, "I don't know what he's got, but he's got it. I don't know what it is, but he's got it.
He's got it." That was so good.
Yeah.
There's a comment here, Koenig Stiger 66. The moonwalk popularized by Michael Jackson did not invent it, but he did copyright it, as well as the one where you lean forward with the device. He did a patent on it. So dancers can definitely copyright, and you need not invent anything, but if you popularized it and you can claim it, and then you can put it to the copyright offices, then go for it. But it doesn't mean that you have to invent it. Just like Thomas Edison.
Oh wow, okay. We're getting historical here. Come on.
Sorry. Okay, later.
There's a lot of controversy with that,
Team Tesla.
Jokes. We'll
Team
save
Tesla.
it for History Bite. All right, we'll save it for History Bite. That's too much controversy.
We shall save it for another episode of Tesla Byte.
Oh my gosh. That's actually a pretty cool name. We gotta trademark that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And Bimo King of Boo in the chat said, "But did the safety dance get royalties on Scrubs?" Safety dance.
Yeah.
And that show is too good. That show's too good.
Yeah.
All right.
Super.
Moving
good.
on.
And until the 9th season.
Ooh, okay.
There was no 9th season, Jopes. That was Scrubs internship. That's a separate show. All right, I refuse to believe it is a ninth season.
Sure. I agree.
Let me sleep in peace. Sir. Oh man, Koenigstigger in the chat said history, but let's go, boys. Oh, someone wants to.
Wow.
Oh
boy.
We
I
might have to-
gotta call my high school history teacher.
Mom,
Hopefully,
And ask
he
him
doesn't
some
get
questions.
political.
Sir, okay,
All right. Well, moving on. Oh, let's not talk about politics, guys. We podcast to get away from politics. All right.
exactly.
Super.
All right. Han shot first. All right. Let's see. In other news. Let's make things brief with this bit of news. EA and Sony not at E3 2019. Yeah. I mean,
Who cares?
yeah.
Bye-bye.
Did that sound like a thud? I mean, to be honest, if they have nothing to show, who cares, right?
Okay.
Oh, man.
Give space to the people who can actually, produce something that's gonna come out this year.
Spend money
Yeah.
to make themselves look stupid, right?
Dude.
I mean,
Damn. Jope spitting fire, man. That's why we have
Bam.
Jopes on the show. Just fire, straight fire coming out of his mouth.
feisty right there.
I mean, I've been
love it,
covering
Jopes.
I've covered already 3 E3s right now, live.
We covered one with you.
I covered 2015, 16, 17. I know. Yeah, 2015. I know. Just for live, 2016, 17, 18. So
And then we did a
I
recap
was doing a live
last
stream
year.
and doing recap. Yes. Every single company is just slated for disappointment. Even Sony. And to think that Sony is like the peak of all the E3 presentations. And people are forgetting that E3 is not really like a presentation or press conference of some sort. It's a trade show. It's
You go there for the floor.
The conferences are just for the fans. But the actual E3 show is for making transactions with retailers.
True.
Which is right now totally irrelevant because GameStop is already going down. I mean, that's why everyone's asking why still do E3, right? I mean, why not just do PAX? Why not just do GDC?
I guess it gives the opportunity for a lot of developers, for independent developers of not games, but rather like other things that developers may need. It gives them the floor so that they'll be like, oh, okay, so this is your new game engine that you're using. We'll call it the Joffle engine. Ooh,
I'm excited for IMAX Home. All right, that's all I. That's all I want.
I need that. I'm gonna put it here behind me. And watch out, guys. In 6 months, you're gonna see 2 big towers here behind me.
I might need a third job for that.
That's true. Like when this
could sell
type
a
of
kid.
new technology comes out, it's always like
Oh yeah.
way too expensive until they like mass produce it.
Yeah.
That's why we call us the what do you call this? The
Late adapters.
the enthusiasts. Yes.
The
Enthusiasts.
enthusiasts. Yes, that's true.
Yes,
like
yes,
there's like the people that have too much money, they're the ones that always get this stuff first.
Anyway, I feel
Oh,
guilty
yeah.
right now.
No, Jopes, you work for that. All right, you earned that. All right, you earned that. Don't be sad. Don't be shy.
I'm trying to convince myself with that as well.
Flaunt it if you got it.
Flaunt it
seriously-
if you got.
Seriously, EA need not be there. I guess Square Enix also doesn't need to be there. Pretty much everyone doesn't need to be there except for Microsoft because Microsoft has a lot of things to unpack this year. So
Yeah,
that
true.
They could start the next generation really well. I'm not sure about the other publishers though. I mean, Activision, they used to have an E3 presentation. They dropped out since, I guess, 2015. I don't know, 2015
wow.
they still had one. Yeah, 2015 they still also had
16,
one.
I think, or 17.
Yeah, probably 16 because 2016 I covered that and there was no Activision.
Because they go to Gamescom, right? I think. Was it?
They just
Where did they move again?
They just hitchhiked with Sony most of the time.
Oh.
Especially, I mean, if you look at Activision right now, they only have one title every year, which is Call of Duty, and
Yeah.
nothing else. especially this year.
This
So,
year, yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's good for Activision. After Nintendo is doing well with hyping up fans with regards to their releases with directs, and especially some of these directs just come out of nowhere. Oh, sorry, my camera.
Sony.
All right.
Oh,
It's all right.
he-
It's all right.
he's
We
been
know
dealing with the
we know
devil.
where your allegiance lies, Jopes. We know where
Sony
your
boy.
allegiance lies.
But I'm more curious about how Microsoft is going to work this out. But did you know that next week, or is it next week or 2 weeks from now? Next week or 1.5 weeks from now, the more interesting one is going to be in GDC, being Google announcing their new console. So,
Hot stuff.
It's gonna be crazy.
Here's the thing: they're actually following the lead of Microsoft with the Scarlet family of devices, where you have one beefed up machine that does 4K 60. And then there's one console that just streams games. Google is rumored to have both machines as well. That has a beefy spec and also like another one that streams games. And they already had Bandai Namco, Sega, Ubisoft brought into the launch lineup for this new Google console, and somehow you wonder, even for PC gamers, will this new console be attractive for PC gamers? Because you can get all those 4K awesomeness even with budget devices.
Yeah.
So that's why I was talking. You were talking about a while ago. How will developers see if other game developers produce, say, certain devices like a headset or probably a new console? They can do that in GDC, and E3 is not that place. E3 is just for retailers and for merchants. I can also see TGS, Tokyo Game Show, being also the counterpart for E3 in Asia. And in Asia, it's a lot different because Asians want it physical.
Oh my.
Wow.
But
Oh my.
but Asians like it that they have their physical media. They have to own their media and not to have just them lying in the cloud and probably like be terminated by someone, some superior power, just because. Just like what happened to the Wii console. All the WiiWare software are already gone because Nintendo no longer supports it, and too bad for people who bought it but didn't download it, right? So I mean, Asians don't think that way. That's why TGS could still be relevant. As for E3, I don't know.
Yeah. Koenig in the chat real quick says, bigger stage for Devolver Digital's crazy press con this year. Because they did steal the show last year.
They're going to be the
did.
peak. They're going to be the peak this time.
Oh, man.
Everyone's
Those guys
gonna
are
go after
nuts.
them.
Those guys are nuts. Oh, man. Well, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Like, as much as... we're all disappointed that we're not gonna get EA. Aw, man.
Man. I was looking forward to their presentation.
I'm actually impressed that they held back this year because that's
They have no money. They have no money, Jopes.
sure. I mean, for 2 years of covering EA, it's always 2.5 hours. And why? Why does it have to be 2.5 hours? It's always
To
a
distract
rush.
you. To distract you
always
from
a
the fact
rush
that they
to-
have no good products.
They only have good trailers, but not good games.
And the worst part of it is because since they're doing it nighttime there on a Saturday, we have to cover it like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning, and it's 2.5 hours worth of sluggish presentations. It's so annoying that we had to cover it, but being the professionals that we are, we have to cover it. So, and this year I'm looking forward to covering it again. So yeah.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
Is your body ready? Is your body ready?
My Reggie body is ready, yeah.
All right, and our last bit of news today, guys. I'm gonna flash this thing real quick because I can't do it for too long. China's gaming regulators. I'm gonna switch it over. China's gaming regulators approve 726 games since December. All right, this is on the heels of an industry-wide hiatus of
Approving
banning,
games.
or not banning, a hiatus of approval for video games in the whole year of 2018, and I think it stretches a little longer than that. Isn't that right, Jopes?
Yes. That's why I was surprised about this news because I thought it was still going on. But
Man.
seeing 726 games approved right now, I was wondering what are these games?
Yeah,
Why,
that's the question.
I wonder if they're quality enough to be even approved. But I think there was pressure on China's part as well, especially with Tencent, because you had Apex Legends with who's this company that supports that's not Tencent, right? It's
NetEase.
who's supporting NetEase, right?
NetEase.
A lot of NetEase games that are Western developed are gonna come in soon, and NetEase is not eased. That China is not approving much. So, and we all know the reason why they're banning a lot of stopping the approval of these games, right? It's because of the because of the epidemic of gaming addiction, and in China, everything is amplified in a way that you can hear crime stories about gaming every day.
Yeah.
That someone got skinned because of gaming, or someone died because of a heart attack in a gaming lounge. They do have hotels
Built for gaming.
Yeah, gaming
Specifically
lounge.
in Taiwan, actually. In Taiwan,
Yeah.
that's fairly popular. Though.
Oh, don't call it China then. Don't call it China then.
Oh, it's not.
Oh, sorry.
Let's not start anything, guys. Let's not
I'm
start
just saying.
anything.
No, I'm just saying. Taiwan, specifically in Taiwan and in China, they have those.
Taiwan is not equal to China. Anyway. I remember Taiwan had this three. I'm saying Taiwan, not China, right? There is this hotel in Taiwan where you have like a full floor of GTX 1080s.
I remember
rigs.
seeing that.
Yeah, with Linus, right? Linus Tech Tips. And,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Love that guy.
Okay, someone's gonna do his impression again. Let's go.
I don't know, man. Shout out to Linus. On today's show.
Sounds like a prepubescent Linus. Well, he's always
man.
prepubescent sounding.
I don't want to say. I don't want to say. So real quick, I don't mean to zigzag too much, guys, but real quick, Koenigstigger in the chat mentioned something we talked about last week. EA and Respawn will have the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order announcement coming out in Star Wars Celebration Chicago. Two of my favorite things coming together, Star Wars and Chicago. So I'm super psyched for that. I'm psyched, also very wary, but at the same time it's Respawn, so you gotta trust them a little bit. They've earned it. And then Chill Fox in the chat said maybe a separate press con for people with phones. I could not say it on air.
That's perfect, because some people don't have phones.
Yeah,
And some people do.
don't you-
Oh,
That was made clear in a convention like a few months ago.
Yeah, a very cold convention. But
Very,
going
very
back,
cold.
circling back. Let's circle back. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Circling back. This is quite surprising, like you said, Jopes. I was actually also surprised when I saw the news that this was announced that they've approved 726 games since December, and as of March 8th, they announced 95 new ones as well. So, and the funny thing is, within the 95, two of them were Tencent and two of them were from NetEase, which is interesting. So it's like out of the 95, there's only 4 games. It's a decent split. I'm curious what the other games were, but also at the same time, without approval of the government, companies can't monetize games in China, which is huge for them, because majority of these games survive through in-game purchases and as we would call them on this show, microtransactions. So,
Microtransactions.
the $1 billion industry known as gaming was quite hampered, and I could see your point, Jopes, of saying that NetEase and Tencent probably had a large part to do with the reintroducing of approvals, because to compare it to 2017. In 2017, China approved 9,651 games, domestic and foreign. So the fact that we've only gotten 726 recently is kind of it's kind of staggering. It's a huge difference.
It is.
Yeah, big difference.
I mean, this is all platforms, right? So I'm also assuming that the PlayStation is also included. This one. There's the Sony thing again.
Yeah. You guys have to see the video feed for this. This is hilarious.
It's just the best.
This is okay. I'm gonna buy a webcam soon. Anyway,
It's clear though.
It is. So I guess if you include PlayStation 4, because PlayStation 4 is like the first console that was legally imported in China. If you guys don't know, the PlayStation platform also has plenty of Chinese games being developed in the country itself. So I guess there's just too many pressure from different directions to approve these games. And to be honest, 726 is actually peanuts compared to, say, the likes of Epic Games or even the mobile platforms. Even Steam. This is peanuts still. But if it favors the big ones, being Tencent and NetEase, well, it's I mean, somehow the floodgate has to open, right? So because of pressure. So yeah, I guess this is what is happening right now. But if they did approve 5,000 games in 9,651 games in 2017, I guess this is more on PC games, because the addiction on PC games is so uncontrollable in China that and there are plenty of knockoffs as well. So I guess they're trying to crack down as well on probably not really copyright, because there's no copyright in China, but probably samey games. China is no longer approving those.
No.
I hear you. No, I hear you. And it's so easy for developers in China to copy not just games, but software. It's become a joke at how quick they, for the lack of a better term, rip off software in China and and how quickly they can execute. So I can understand your point where they tried to get ahead, because a delay that long of over a year is billions in terms of maybe millions in terms of lost revenue. And where money is concerned, it's tough for people to just sit idly by, and sometimes lobbying would be would be better, I guess is the term you would use. It would be better for these
lobbying.
Would be better for these companies. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, imagine your country being like the Steam green light of the Steam green light of every platform.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel horrible, because right here in the Philippines we don't have that, and even like even games that were banned in other countries, we still get those. So it's amazing how much freedom we get, considering that some games are also banned in the US. And some of them we can still play here in the Philippines. Yeah. I mean, you can imagine your government actually guarding that. It's a horrible thought for me.
Yeah. Well, Australia shares the same sentiments as well,
China.
in a different way though, as China,
Yeah.
but in a different way, because they do regulate and they do scan games, and a lot of games haven't been released there for either too much lewd content or even a lot of blood, gore, and violence. They really don't want that. It's like I'll give an example. I guess Stick of Truth, which is probably one of the lewdest, and it's just most politically incorrect game you could probably play. And trust me, those really, really bad scenes. It's just a picture of a koala bear that says. And it just says, "Sorry guys, sorry people in Australia, blah 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 blah. But based on your laws, we can't show this to you guys."
That was the Stick of Truth. That was so funny when they did that,
Stick of
because
Truth. And then it even has a didgeridoo playing in the background.
Yeah.
So it's just
Yeah.
really, oh my gosh! And it's a koala bear with like big eyes and just looking at you. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's nice. I love these guys. These guys are poking fun at the same time, trying to inform us.
Yeah, very creative.
Be moking
Very
of
great.
Foo. Devil May Cry already has a crack. We actually talked about it off cam. Because all the butt cracks that shows up in the game.
No!
Oh, sorry. Oh no.
Has
Sorry.
a crack. I mean, like crack
the-
game, dude.
The different kind of
Different
crack.
kind of
Joe.
crack. That's a kraken. You call that a kraken?
Basically, if something is anatomically inappropriate in Devil May Cry, they get censored with a J.J. Abrams lens flare effect, and that was only on PS4. And I'm wondering actually if China could take in games like that.
Oh man, it's a crack.
Probably, yeah.
You
Already
keep
has a
repeating.
crack.
I understand
bad.
actually why you guys are panicking, but yeah, it is
No, I mean, because
crackdown.
I think he's trying to say is that the game is already cracked, as in there's already a fake torrent version going around in the
Oh.
market.
We don't what is that, Mick? Torrent? What is that?
Torrent. You know,
What is
it's
that?
those things people who don't want to pay money for entertainment do.
So you have to.
But it's
rent.
completely illegal, so we don't endorse that
Oh,
here in GameByte.
To rent.
Because
Yeah,
we buy our
I've
game.
rented things.
We
I've
buy our
rented
game.
things.
We
No, I mean, I've
also
rented.
rent.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know what it's
we
like
rent-
to rent.
To rent.
Oh
yeah.
no, this one is apparent. This is gosh awful. They download it for free, and they don't even pay a single cent. It's the horror. I can't imagine it.
Oh man.
Well,
That's
you have
hilarious.
subscriptions to rent.
To rent. All right, that's it. Let's
All right.
let's finish things off. Oh man, good stuff, guys. Good stuff. Let me
Yeah.
play a sat here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is the end of the show. Great stuff from Jopes and Mick. Who needs that Insta D's nuts guy when you've got Jopes? All right, when you've got Jopes. All right, so Jopes, Mick, final thoughts on today's points of topic. Mick, show us how it's done. Give us a quick look into your thoughts.
Okay. Sony EA, I don't care. Doug Bowser, don't let us down. What else did we cover? China, good for you. More games. let the people enjoy. And of course, Valve, shame on you. Richard Garfield is a card game god. He has a doctorate degree in BS mathematics. For Christ's sake, if there's anyone more qualified in helping you fix your game, it's him. So
Yes,
shame on you.
yes.
Shame on you for letting him go.
Oh,
That's
man.
it. That's it for me. What about you, Jopes?
Well, Randy Pitchford can go F himself. Because I'm actually reading the comments right now. Konigstiger 666. Randy Pitchford of Gearbox Software, he just hinted that Borderlands 3 will be announced on March 28th and hinted for Epic Games exclusive. Okay, I understand that Randy Pitchford also contributed to Valve's history being the source engine. But, you know, he could go F himself. But anyway.
Oh my.
China.
China.
That's it. I mean, China.
China.
Anyway,
China.
I love China.
China.
I love China.
They take away all our jobs, China. Anyway,
Oh my God.
Okay.
No, I was quoting Trump on the exactly. Those are the exact words on the
I know.
Nothing contemporary, okay?
Oh, man.
But anyway, so for Nintendo, I'm really looking forward for the I guess the bestest guys in the gaming industry to like push the legacy on in the future. And even though I love Sony as a gaming company, I don't really care if they don't have any presentations on E3. The only downside, the only bummer on that is that we will no longer have reactions that will account for the good reactions from this coming E3. So I'm really bummed with that. So hopefully they will come up with an announcement of a new console later this year. Yeah, whatever. But Microsoft is going to hopefully steal that thunder from Sony. What other topics? As for Artifact, it got an artifact. Anyway, what else? Yeah, I guess that's all. Everything in the topic, and I really like everyone who was in the chat. I was part of
you
it.
guys are awesome.
I used to be part of the chat before, and will always be part of the chat in the future.
Oh
So-
man,
But-
look at the man of the people. Look at the man of the people over here in the show. Oh man.
Trying to please the chat.
Hey, who knows? Maybe Human Panda 22 might be our next.
Oh.
Yes,
I
in
mean,
the future, who knew?
He has
be
given
there.
us more money than ElderDjinn, so
That is true. Who knows? He might also be in. episode 100 along with ElderDjinn if he
Why
actually
not?
flies all the way back.
I'd love that actually, guys. I mean,
Yeah.
seriously, I really love to be part of that.
yeah, man.
And
Yeah,
Make it
definitely.
Politics Bite coming soon. Politics Bite.
Politics bite. Oh my god.
It's not
It's
happening.
guys, it's politics with a QS, all right, not a CS. Politics.
Yeah,
With a Q-
politics. Politics.
Politics. Politics.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's not the after show yet. Why does it say after show? All right.
Sounds like a nail polish brand.
Harold,
Oh,
what
man,
about you? What are your what are your final thoughts on everything we just talked about?
I miss Reggie already. Stay tuned for the Habitat episode for more of our thoughts on Artifact. Let's see. Fortnite pay. Dancers need to get paid too. They need to eat. EA and Sony not at E3. Yeah. Let's go Devolver Digital. And China #1. All right. That's it. Let's go. Thank you to all our most recent followers: Cheesemo, Nazgul1662, Crunchy Tack, Turbulence Overwatch, XD_Joker, XD, Heartland Media, Jason_Shakuzel, Really Plushy, Bounds, or is that Bones? Bones, Esports
maybe.
Redux, and everyone else who's followed us. Cheesemo just followed us today, so thank you so much, and same with Koenigstigger, who's played in our Overwatch Scrim Nights. We hope you keep enjoying all of the stuff. Thank you to our leading bit cheerer, NeoGear, for the 3,000 bits. Nope_plays right behind him. ElderDjinn, Nerf Diva, if not now, Gwen Mershi, Gameko, Tita Gamings, InstaDeezy, and _. The guys who have subscribed to us consistently over the past year or so that we've been, we've had that button for you to subscribe.
Yeah.
Human Panda 22, Furansi Shu, Sensei Humor, Miko P, Bimo King of Oo, NeoGear again, Monster Plays, Ion Hammer Stream, InstaDeezy, and Kevin the Ninja, everyone else who has not been selected by Streamlabs to be featured on that list. Streamlabs is prejudice. Don't take them as a representation of quit stalling. We love every single one of you, each and every one of you. Jopes, where can the
Yes!
folks at home find you when you're not on GameByte?
Yes, actually you cannot find me anymore anywhere else because I'm kind of in a hiatus right now, but I'm gonna come back soon. Just watch out for anything that's gonna be launched soon. But you can check out my old folks at Gamako, so that's facebook.com/Gamako. You can also go to their website at gamako.com. Also, you can check out their thoughts on Twitter at game_ako. Yeah, so that's
Yeah, that's
AKO.
Game AKO, ladies and gentlemen. Jopes, I wanted to talk to you about
Yes.
branding. How do you feel about Hi, I'm Jopes, at Hi, I'm Jopes?
I do have a Twitter account, but it's primarily political.
No,
don't want
let's
that.
let's give you a gaming persona, man, or yes,
No, I
that
actually
Jopes.
already have one. I actually have a couple. I have Carb Uncle. So Carb
Ooh,
Uncle.
I like
So,
that. I like that.
And then just a simple one, Tito Jopes. So
At Tito Jopes, I like that.
Yes. I'm actually deciding between the two. So I could actually lean towards Carb Uncle because I might not target the local market. So yeah, and you know what I mean.
And
But,
we could start a show, Simon and Carbuncle.
yeah, of course.
I'd be down for that.
actually went well. Yes, that
Yeah,
went well.
I'd be so down for that. I would be your Simon.
Simon.
Yeah,
What
we'd
kind
have a
of
segment called Simon Says. All right, here it is.
Nice.
Here it is. We're starting it. It's live. It's live right now.
What show is that? Where Simon says this?
I'm not sure. We'll figure it out during the after show. We'll figure it out during the after show.
Yeah, I feel like it's a cartoon thing. But anyway.
It probably is. Mick, the Fury Bot. Where can the folks at home find you when you're not on GameByte?
You find me on Twitter and on Instagram, both at the Fury Bot. You can also find me here on GameByte every Wednesday night, 9:30 p.m. Philippine time. Right now, since it's daylight savings, 6:30 a.m. California time.
Knows how to party.
Yeah, what about you, Harold? Where can the folks at home find you when you're not on GameByte?
Check me out on Twitter at Herald Plays, where I retweet everything Quit Stalling tweets. You can also find me on Instagram at Herald Plays, where I am tagged by Quit Stalling on everything. And of course, on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Herald Plays. You can also find me on the Quit Stalling Geekcast Fridays, afternoons, Philippine Standard Time, 1 p.m., 10 p.m., day before Thursday night California time. I will get that down to more condensed sentence. I'll figure it out eventually. Next week, you can also find the Quit Stalling Geekcast hosting the folks over at Panels Comic Bar. Check us out. You can also find me on GameByte, like Mick, regularly 9:30 p.m. every Wednesday. Yeah, because that's what we do. And from time to time, I like to showcast Overwatch and other esports like Apex Legends. So figure that out. Keep your eyes glued to this channel, twitch.tv/quitstalling. And of course, find all our stuff on facebook.com/quitstallingus, on Twitter at quitstallingus, on Instagram at quitstalling, on YouTube, youtube.com/quitstalling, and of course, here on twitch.tv/quitstalling. Follow, subscribe, cheer us on with some bits. And if you're listening to the audio-only version of the podcast, you know what? Leave us a 5-star review because you know we like it. You know we like it when you do it. You know, just say a couple of words. Be like, this podcast good. All right, with a G-U-D because you don't have time to spell it out. All right, that's all right. Just leave us a 5-star review. Tell your friends. Tell your family. All right, hit us up. And, just share the love. Share the love. Tell them, oh, you know what? I found this cool podcast. It's called GameByte with a Y. And then, just share. Share the love. All right. But that is it for us this week on GameByte. We'll be back next week with InstaDZ. We'll be back. Don't worry. He'll be back as well. So check that out. Till then, ladies and gentlemen, get off your butts and quit stalling. We'll see you guys next week. Same Byte time. Same Byte channel. Bye, everybody. Bye.